So my voice is slightly fucked up right now, and I don't really know why. Like, if you can hear, it sounds a little off. I don't know whether I've given myself laryngitis or if it's like some kind of second puberty or something. Like, what the fuck is this? Hey folks, my name is Jen, and today I wanted to cover my TBR for March. My TBR for March is going to look a little different just because I've decided to join in on a couple of readathons that are going to happen in March. So I've got a big list of books to get through. I know that sounds probably a little crazy to try to be in like 2 different readathons when my day-to-day is just so crazy, but they both sounded like so much fun, and one of them involves at least a couple of books that are much shorter than I normally read all of the time, so I figured, you know what, it's a good way to it shouldn't be so bad to do both of them. Hopefully. This is what I'm telling myself now. We'll see what'll actually happen in March in general. But to start off with, the first readathon I saw that I really wanted to join in, it is the Dunder Mifflin-a-thon, and this is being put on by Whispers of a Reader. I will try to leave like a link to her Instagram down below. Basically, it is inspired by Dunder Mifflin of The Office fame. For this, you can either, I guess, just pick randomly whatever books you want to do, or you can pick a department you want to work in and read the prompts that are required for that. So the department that I decided to go with for March is sales, which is totally the opposite of real life, but the sales prompts sounded like they might be pretty fun, and they're books that I have. And also, I mean, I love Jim, and I love Stanley, and I honestly also kind of love Dwight, even though he's kind of a douche for a majority of the show. So I figured that I would pick some books in there. So for this one, you're to be in sales, you have to pick like 4 books within the prompts. So, and a couple of these, to participate, I realized I'd actually have to reread a couple of books, but you know what, I'm fine with that, because it's been a while since I've reread stuff, just because I've been so set on trying to fly through all of the books that I own that I haven't read yet, that I've been kind of neglecting my usual rereads, so I figured, what the hell. So the first prompt that I chose to go with is for Jim. It says, Bears beats Battlestar Galactica. Read a book that starts with a B. So I have a few books that start with B, but the one I decided I most wanted to reread was Boy Meets Girl by Meg Cabot. This is one that I just recently talked about in my last video, I believe. And it's all about a girl who is a human resources rep in this big company for the New York Journal, and the love interest is a lawyer, and it's basically just kind of told through media, chat conversations, emails, transcripts of recorded conversations or voicemails and stuff like that. It's a fun read. I'm very excited to reread it because I haven't picked this up in like years. So next prompt that I decided to go with is Dwight. Identity theft is not a joke, Jim. Read a book with a face on the cover. So I actually had a couple that I was considering, but then my best friend picked us up, both of us. Wow, that wasn't a good grammatically. She picked both of us up a book that we were excited about, and it is The Mystery of Mrs. Christie. This is by Marie Benedict. This is about a very real event that happened in Agatha Christie's life. There was a time in the 20s, I believe, when she, following the either separation or divorce from her first husband, she ended up disappearing for 11 days. No one knows where she went, and when she turned up again, she tried to plead that she had amnesia. So no one knows at all what happened. So this is like the fictionalized explanation of what she did for those 11 days, which sounds really cool because I love a good mystery. I love Agatha Christie. Pretty sweet. The next prompt I chose to go with was for Phyllis. Normally on rainy days, I love to curl up with a good book. Read a cozy book. Now, I know that this might not be cozy for everyone, but to me, personally, the coziest book I can think of on like a cold, blizzardy day or a rainy day when you just want to curl up under a blanket with some light tea, I think of mysteries. So I decided to go with At Bertram's Hotel by Agatha Christie, and this is, besides this, is also a book I haven't read that I just got recently, so I am excited to get into this. And this is a Miss Marple mystery, and I haven't read hers in a while. She goes on holiday to Bertram's Hotel in London, and, you know, shit happens. And the last prompt I picked is also a book that I'm going to reread, but I picked to go with Stanley. Stanley's having an affair. Read a book with a love triangle. Now, I mentioned before that that's one of my least favorite tropes, is a love triangle. I had a hard time coming up with a book for this just because I don't think I really have that many books that have, like, a full-on love triangle. Like, I have series where at some point in the series a love triangle or two might crop up, but it's not that way for like the whole thing. But I don't own a lot of books that feature that, and I could not think of a single unread book that I have that features a love triangle. Of course, I don't know. It's possible that that's going to be in the book somewhere, but I haven't read it, so I have no idea. So one of the only ones I could come up with was a book that I also mentioned in my previous video recently, was Nicola and the Viscount by Meg Cabot. This is a young adult historical fiction romance about a girl named Nicola who has just joined society and has a crush on their Viscount. Shenanigans happen. There is kind of a love triangle-ish thing, sort of, in here. It's not too strong of a one, it's just kind of a little bit, but I think this is the closest thing that counts, so we went with this. So yeah, so that is, those are my books for the Dunder Mifflin-a-thon, which again is being put on by Whispers of a Reader, and I'll leave like a link to her down below. Then I heard about another readathon taking place this month of March, which is Middle Grade March. I guess it's been happening for the past couple of years now, and this is being hosted by Books and Jams, The Curly Reader, and Life Between Words, and I will leave also links to the announcement video. I watched Books and Jams announcement video. I'm not sure if the others have one as well, but I'll look, and if I find them, I will also post those down below. Actually though, I found out about this through the Bookish Princess. She is also participating in it as well, I believe, but the chosen book group read that the hosts are doing is different than the one that she is doing with with a few other people. And both of the books, by the way, sound fascinating. I'm just not going to participate in either of the group reads. The host's group read that they chose was The Brave by James Bird, which sounds awesome. And then the book that they are doing for their read-along is Miracles on Maple Hill, and it is by Virginia Sorensen, which also sounds is an older book, and it's set during the 40s, and that also sounds like a fascinating read as well, but I am still on my book buying ban, so I have added both of those books to my ultimate summer potential buying list, but I'm not gonna participate in either of those read-alongs at this moment because I cannot buy any more books right now. So yeah, let's get into the prompts for that and what I have chosen to go along with it. So basically, middle grade March is following the prompts, and but they have also said that if you just pick up any middle grade book in March, you've participated pretty much. Which I know that that's like the easiest route that I could possibly go to, is just pick things at random, but I'm so freaking stubborn at always biting off more than I can chew at any time possible that yeah, I've decided to go along with all 5 prompts, which actually I found some pretty good books, and I at least read a couple unread books, so that's good. The first prompt is to read a book with a silhouette on the cover. Now this one I had a hell of a time finding, actually, because I actually do not have that many books that have silhouettes on the cover. But then I found The Missing Chums by F.W. Dixon. This is a Hardy Boys mystery. I have no idea what this is about, as this is like an original, like, old copy that's kind of falling apart from 1928, and yeah, I have no idea what this is about. I picked this up at a yard sale for $5, and it wasn't even this that cost $5, it was this plus a teacup and saucer. But so yeah, I have no idea what this book is about. I just know it's a Hardy Boys mystery. I am not as fond of Hardy Boys as I am of Nancy Drew, but I think it'll be a pretty good read anyway, and it is on my ultimate 2021 TBR, so boom, another one read. The next prompt is read a book with a strong family element. They said that you can have like biological family or like a found family. So for this one, I've decided to go with Hollowpox, The Hunt for Morrigan Crow by Jessica Townsend. Yes, as you can see here, I again did not manage to get to this in February. So I tried, but life was just too crazy. So I think this gives me a perfect chance to fly through this book, third book in the Nevermore series. Looks dark and dangerous, and yeah, I'm excited. The next prompt is read a book that includes an adventure or a journey. Now for the last 3 prompts, I've decided to go with books from my childhood. So for this adventure or journey story, I ended up deciding to go with Holes by Louis Sachar. I don't know if everyone knows this book. I mean, it was also made into a movie with like Shia LaBeouf when he was like a gangly teenager or something, so I don't know. I'm sure most people would know what this is about, but anyway, this is about a boy named Stanley Yelnats, who is convicted of a crime he did not do, and he blames this on the curse of his family, more specifically his no good, dirty, rotten, pig-stealing great-great-grandfather. So he is sent to this place called Camp Green Lake in Texas. It is not green, and there is no lake. It is in a desert. Goes into him dealing with this. It's actually a camp for juvenile delinquents. So it's him dealing with this camp and the assholes who are in charge of it. And also flashes back to the history of the area as well. I loved this book like a whole bunch as a kid. So I have not reread this either in years, really. I think I haven't read this maybe since high school. I don't even know. Very excited to pick this up again. The next prompt is to read a book that is a retelling of a fairy tale or has like fairy tale vibes or aesthetic or something to it. So I guess there were a couple of unread books that I could have chosen for this, but what I ended up going with ties into me finishing an unread book. So I went with Inkheart by Cornelia Funke. This is, I'm sure most people know what this is about too, but this is about a girl named Maggie, who, her and her father just devour books. They love them, but her father has never read aloud to her ever in her life, and she finds out that her father, when he does read aloud, ends up making elements of the story or characters themselves kind of escape from the book into the real world. And as you can imagine, shit gets crazy because of this. So, yeah, this is just, I love this book. I love the second book, Inkspell, as well. I've read them multiple times. Still have not managed to finish reading Ink Death because I am a coward who is terrified that this is going to end in a way that breaks my heart. So, as it's been such a long time since I've read either of the first two books, and I still have to read Ink Death and have put it on my list of things I need to read this year, I figured kind of jog my memory about things, I should probably do a reread of the first and second books again, so this is perfect timing for me to read Inkheart again. So yeah. And then the last prompt is to read a book published in the decade that you were born. So so this was among the recommended books for that particular prompt. I think it was for kids who were born in the 90s. I was born in the, I'm gonna reveal my age here, the tail end of the 80s. I can't think of a lot of books that were published in the 80s. Anytime I try to think of a book, it ends up being published either much later or much earlier than that. So I was very happy. Recommendations mentioned a book that I actually own and have loved for a long time, and that was Ramona Quimby, Age 8 by Beverly Cleary. As you can tell, I have loved this book to pieces. It's very warm. So, and I was gifted this book when I was about 8 years old, and funny story, add some glasses and I pretty much looked like Ramona when I was about her age. So yeah, I don't know. I decided to go with this because frankly, it was a good suggestion. It's a thin book, so it won't take me that long to get through it, and also, it saves me time from having to go through all of my freaking books and check all of the publishing ages and see if I was correct on how old the book is. If you don't know, this is about Ramona Quimby. This is about when she is starting at a new school, and I can't remember if she's in, like, I think it's 3rd grade because of the age. That makes sense for her to be in, like, 3rd grade rather than 2nd. I could be wrong. If you can tell by my age, it's been a dinosaur's year since I was in elementary school, so I don't know. But anyway, she's starting in a new school, and this is about just shenanigans that she gets up to, whether she puts herself into those situations or just kind of gets put into them by the people around her. So it's cute. Loved the shit out of this when I was little. Excited to read this again, actually, because it's been a long time since I've read this. And that's pretty much it for that readathon as well. As I said, I'll leave links down below to both information about both readathons. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. There's some really good rereads in here. There's some really good books that I'm excited to read for the first time, and yeah, I'm very excited to also take part in a readathon again and see what everybody else is reading. So I hope that you guys are having a good month so far. If you're also interested in that readathons, definitely check them out because they sound like they're going to be a lot of fun. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye!